Okay, another attempt. What if Deku had my quirk? Um, what if Deku was the only guy with a quirk? So we pretty much bypassed most of season two. He would talk to the villain, but this would be somewhere around the ending or somewhere in the in between of the part 4.5. I messed up on the titles and stuff. By the way, I'm gonna probably throw out more only quirks until I'm done with that, and then reboot another series that has the most views, because that's the same thing I did with my what if Deku had the quirk of darkness, because darkness was getting the most views, so I kept that one going to get more people in, because I'm trying to rush and race to 1,000 subscribers. Anywho, so we're pretty much done with season two. Now he would talk to the dude with the hand quirk. I mean, not really much would happen there. It would just be similar to in canon, but Deku wouldn't be as scared. Nobody would intervene because he would probably just like cancel certain people's quirk if they got too close. So that would happen. But mainly how I'm gonna go ahead and just start this off is, let's see here. All right, so everybody would have to go through the Beast Forest. Now, to get you more inclined of how I've already did the harems and explaining how that works. Also, Ida does like Deku a lot more though, because Deku helped her out during the Stain incident, said this is not what a hero does. And he did let Stain go, but when he let Stain go, he also told him, if you kill somebody, you don't give them a second chance. Maybe you should show people the error of their ways instead of trying to just kill them off and not give them a second chance. And Stain ran off like, you don't know what you're talking about, Brad. Blah, blah, blah. Now, how this force will go is Deku anticipated some fuckery happening. So he brought him some like tools to help him navigate throughout the forest. So when they got out of the bus, Deku just started running off like quickly. He was hustling, and he immediately turned on his counter because he knew. Now, if you want me to justify and be like, wait, how did he know? Like, where did that come from? I would probably say it's more on the lines of like, it's just like after you've been in war. Excuse me for any veterans that, for whatever reasons, watching this video. It's like after you've been in war or a situation of conflict, you can just know when it's gonna happen, and like he could just feel it. It's a similar feeling from when he trained off in the mountains with his mentor or whatever, and he was just kind of like, what's that? Dude starts wailing on him. Just one of the disciples or pupils. They're really good with hand to hand and hardening the body for like iron shirt. Iron shirt is basically making your body really hard. Your body, not your body parts. Stop thinking dirty. And so with that being said, he just starts booking it. Everyone's confused. He's like just hauling. And he also has all for one too. So he's hauling and he's canceling out other quirks. By him canceling out these other quirks, he's immediately canceling out any golems that would have appeared, but they didn't appear just yet because no one knows what's about to happen. But like he zooms off and nobody noticed. So a few people noticed, like Azawa, he noticed. He's like, that boy. And what ended up happening is later on they start doing it or whatever, and then everyone else is struggling, like, where's Deku? I don't know. So Bakugo's worried, so she's hauling. Todoroki's worried. The tongue girl, the frog girl, she's worried, but she's focusing on the task. And Odoraka's thinking about it, but she's like, I can't think about it right now. She smacks herself. I must focus. Ida is doing the same thing. She's trying to haul. She's trying to hustle, trying to get to him and stuff. And so, meanwhile, while they're doing all that or whatever, right? Deku is still hauling. He beep, 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 beep. He's just traveling at insane speeds. His physical is up, so he's able to push one for all to like be on its limit practically and just book it. And he's not really hurting himself because he's used to exerting himself. So it's like this. Let's say his physical abilities is like so high his body couldn't take it anymore, or how do I put this? He has so much physical capability or so much raw potential, he just didn't have enough energy output, right? But with One for All, he's able to almost max out all his body's abilities. He's only using about 50-ish, 30-ish%, but he's still able to do some good damage or whatever. He hasn't like fully mastered 100% control, but he's able to use it fairly easily. So he's just hauling, gone. He basically makes it in like record time. And while he can literally sense and hear them struggling, and so he's laughing. He's meanwhile, so basically if y'all was like watching this like an anime, right? How I would visualize it would be everyone else is like, man down, we need a medic, we need help, get the healer's down, ah. It's just war. Meanwhile, we switch over to Deku, taking him a nice soothing cold shower. Just he dries himself off. Meanwhile, you pan back. Why are so many rocks here? Maneto's just throw my grapes. Ah. It's just fucking chaos in every sense, right? You pan back to Deku. He's just making his bed already, chopping the food, cooking the food. Hey, could you pass me like one of the people that are there? Thank you. And so after that, he pretty much has all the food ready. He's already ate his fill. He goes to sleep. Everyone's like, we made it. We made it. And then like, we would have cooked the food for you, but he kind of beat us here. Yeah. Ooh. All of them surprised. Deku's already here? And so with that being happened or whatever, they're just like, he's already asleep, tuckered out. He has his own little separate cavern or whatever. And I'm gonna say that little kid, he doesn't hate, she doesn't hate heroes nearly as much. Plus, while Deku had all that spare time, he was talking to her and stuff. And he was like, listen, it's not about that, it's about this. And like, he basically was able to already make a decent impact on the relationship, right? So now we pretty much, after they do that, okay, so we will pretty much skip over to where the villains come in and attack. Everyone's getting messed up, right? And Deku would want to stay and help, but he can't spread out his ability so far to where it helps everyone while he's fighting someone else in a completely separate location, right? So he zooms off to where, what's his face would, I don't remember what the kid name was, but where the kid would be. He sees Muscular and he's like, hey. And I'll say he's a guy, because I know the title is only if Deku has guys with a quirk, but I did say in another what if that like he's one of the few rare exceptions. So I'll say some guys do have quirks, but it's extremely rare. And he's one of the few guys that have a quirk, and like his quirk is muscular, like we know in canon. And Deku wants to push his one for all, so he doesn't use his calculation immediately. He powers up to one for all and it's like, I got you. And this makes the girl understand what he was saying even more, because she's little or whatever, but also he was just talking. It was not much action. But now she's seeing the action back this up, right? And so Deku's throwing immediately good hands, but like he's pretty much, it's a one-sided fight, right? He's just kind of ponying this man. He's throwing some good hits, and as the fight's increasing, Deku's going up in percentage, 50, 60, 70. He could have beat him at like, I'll say like a clean 60, but he's like, nah, I need to keep pushing. So he lets the fight procrastinate, and Muscular starts trying to throw out really good haymakers and really good blows, and Deku's like, all right, enough of this. He takes his stance. I didn't like this training when I was doing it, but thank you. And he like does like a karate punch, right? But with the One for All added onto it, it's basically like an iron air punch, and it pretty much knocks out a Muscular. And then after he's knocks out, Deku pulls out his katana, and then slash, 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 slash. Puts his sword back into the thing. That should take care of that problem. And he grabs the kid, and then he scurries off. And like in this moment, this pretty much would be like traditional harems where like she's blushing and she's like feeling some type of way, but she's still a kid, guys. And it's just like, oh, maybe he wasn't lying. He protected me, even though I was being rude to him. And she was being rude in the fact that she wasn't really listening to him. She was just brushing everything and saying off and all this type of stuff. And then she has a lot more respect for her parents now, which her dad would have been like helping, but like not actually having a quirk. Some to that effect. And he drops the kid off at Tozawa, and then he goes off to help. He sees Dark Shadow. He tries to cancel it, but he needs like just a few seconds to start it up, and the Shadow's not doing him any justice, right? So basically, he runs off, sees Todoroki and Bakugo, and is like, "Hey!" He's practically like almost flying towards them, and he's carrying the dude with all the limbs. So it's reversed basically. He's helping that man out because he's injured a lot more than what happened in Canyon. But I'm not gonna say he, but her. And so he's carrying her. He's like, "Hey guys," and he's like, "All right, I need y'all to go ahead and hit me with that light now." Todoroki gets flames. Bakugo gets flash. Now do the thing. Yeah, you may be saying, what happened to the dude with the teeth and stuff, right? Deku saw him and just pretty much threw a crap load of knives at him and just pinned him down. He didn't kill him, but did severe damage to him. Then they would take care of him. I don't know how to say the man's name, but the bird girl would just pretty much be down and out and be like, "All right, thank you." And then Deku would pretty much smack her and be like, "Listen," grabs her practically by like the hair. "Listen, you need to stop treating it like it's a tool or an object and treat it more like it's a person." Pushes her down to the ground. Because if you don't, you'll never, ever become a hero. I mean, I'm already going to be the #1 hero, but you can at least try to basically like a pep talk, like stop just treating it like it's a toy, treat it like it's a living thing. It tries to protect you. You might want to ask it why it does all that when it's dark. And that'll be more character development later. So now, let's see here. And we pretty much skipped. There would be no dramatic finale or anything to this effect. But I probably would. I want to say Bakugo really wouldn't get taken because Deku's there and he would just cancel out the man's quirk. They would still fight and whatever, but just in this variation, Bakugo just doesn't get captured. I don't know how that affects the story because if Bakugo doesn't get captured, no one goes to see All for One. So this will play out very bigly. Now, after that happens, let's see here. We would pretty much like skip a good chunk of a lot of stuff. Oh crap! Oh, I'm about to be done with this series. Oh damn! Did I really blow through that story that fast? God, hold up! I'm on like part 5 or something. Okay, that makes more sense. So we would blow through almost everything because a lot of the story and stuff that would have happened for Bakugo doesn't happen, and it'd probably just be them chilling and trying to recover. The media would be pressing them and all that type of stuff. Deku probably would eventually go out though, because he knows like they're going for All for One. They're planning their ambush or whatever. He asks his old girl for the radar or the tracker just to use it. Doesn't tell nobody. But how this variate and how this difference is because One for All is going to be in play, right? So Bakugo, Uraraka. See who else? Bakugo, Uraraka, Todoroki, and I'll probably say Ida because she's a good student. Probably know what he's up to. The girl with the crazy quirk, she would probably pull up too, and they would go try to like be like, "So what do you think you can do? You think you actually stop One for All?" Blah 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 blah. He's like, "If y'all coming, you're coming. If you're not, leave me alone." So Ida tries to stop him. He says, "Target cancellation." Makes it where you can't move. But I know I keep saying he and she, and it's confused, but they're girls, but I'm so used to thinking they're guys, but this one is a little confusing for me. So with that out of the way, right? He says, "Are you helping or not?" She's like, "I just want to make sure you're safe," blah, blah, blah. All the dramatic, emotional stuff that really hits home. It's like, all right. So they head out. They get it disguised, but it's not as cancerous and stupid as it is in canon. Some that more fitting, but there's a small little cute moment where some of them are getting bikinis and some of them are getting like sexy outfits and stuff. So that would be kind of cute and funny too. But after that, they pretty much just patrol the area. All for One comes into play, but the difference is everyone else, they're fearful, but Deku's like, yeah, but he's waiting. All Might pulls up to the scene, right? And she's throwing good hands with I'll say it to him to make it a more dramatic, more dramatic. And so all for ones, he's just like throwing hands, like, what took you so long? Blah blah blah, throwing good hands, throwing good hands. All Might's going all out from the jump though, due to the fact that Bakugo isn't there. So the fight's a lot more intense, and One for All slowly but for surely lessening and lessening. And he eventually gets to the point where like he barely can fight. But the difference is she is not nearly as strong since she's a female, and her physical abilities aren't as powerful. This is the only way I can justify making where Deku comes into fight. And so right before the ending blow goes, Deku comes out of nowhere with like 100% One for All, and just like comes out of nowhere. It just chucks this dude in the throat and then sends him flying. And like he busts in the scene, but like he changed his outfit. Like he threw out the disguise, and like he has his like hero outfit, but he knows how technology works just enough to make cool outfits, right? So he's got kind of like a Hokage-esque outfit. It says symbol piece on his back. He's got some cool gloves for his One for All. He has some cool knee pads, and he's like, no need to fear because I am here. And after he makes his dramatic entrance, he's like, oh, so you have a successor. Interesting. No matter. You cannot stop me. And Deku laughs maniacally. Sadly, that's what you think. So as this fight commences or whatever, All Might would probably be like, y'all see, I was struggling with this man, right? But look at this guy. No less a guy. Not even supposed to have a quirk. But look at him. He's proficiently fighting against someone I can't do. Maybe we might need to change our view on how we look upon guys in the society. And no, quirkless people in our society. And it goes in and in. So how this fight would pretty much would end, right, is Deku, they're throwing their tremendous hands, right? And you're probably saying like, okay, if he can cancel out quirks, why is he not canceling his quirks out? But during the span of the fight, I'm gonna say All For One has so many quirks that Deku didn't. He wasn't prepared for this, because normally when he activates stage 4, he can like not stage 4 but like stage 3, he can like cancel the quirk, cancel the movement. But One For All has so many quirks, and he's so seasoned with all these quirks. It is so hard just to focus on that one specific quirk or like multiple quirks, right? So it makes it dummy hard, and he's like, okay. So this fight's actually a challenge for him. So he busts out, and like he's using One For All at max power. He is just powering up on some Dragon Ball Z S flow. He gets like a lot, not much, but he does get a lot more muscular. And the fight gets up more and more and more intense, and just it is a big body fight. Explosions everywhere. Devastation to the ground and stuff. And he's fighting, he's throwing in. All For One's like, okay, I see you might be a little more stronger than I originally anticipated, but no matter. He charges up like this big body whammy move, and he's like, with this move, I'll end it all. Deku takes like a really cool, like Bruce Lee-esque stance. Focuses One For all throughout his body. Gets his legs ready because he likes to use his legs, than just using his fist like a dummy. And so he takes a good stance, and he's like, you took the words right out of my mouth. I was waiting for a chance to try out my full power. And so, listen. Stage 1, cancel out quirk. Stage 2, cancels out the quirk and movement. Stage 3, increases the ratings. Stage 4, cancels out multiple quirks. So he takes his stance. He says new technique. Stage 4, cancellation. But the thing with this stage 4 is it has a small radius, right? So he jumps up, and in like an instant, he's heading towards All For One, right? Basically, kind of like his shoot style. So he's like spinning, and he's building up dummy amount of momentum, right, as he's toward. And All For One's just like, goodbye, you insect. Die with your sensei or master or whatever you want to say, right? He said, once again, you're taking the words right out of my mouth. Die. He said, but he didn't say die. He was saying some more heroic, like, I will not die because justice can't die. So see this, eat this. And he's all for one. So he'll probably say like United Smash, but not like United as United States Smash, but like together or unison smash, right? And in this moment, he's like thinking about all the stuff he's went through, all the stuff he's been through, all the training he had to do. And he's like, it's for this moment and this moment alone. And he just goes in for the big body kick. He goes in for the move. But the thing is, his quirk stopped working. He can't move his body. And he realizes he's lost. Deku goes in for the kick and it sends a thunderous kick down to the ground. Boom. He said, oh, I'm not done yet. And as he's like, he got bounced right back up, right? Because the pressure of the kick was so hard. And then it's a fury of punches, furies of kicks, furies of elbows, everything. Everything's happening so fast. And then in an instant, Deku stands up on the ground. Shirt's ripped, blood everywhere. And instead of putting his right hand up, I think it was always the right hand, he puts up his left hand. And everyone was just like stunned. All the people that there. And then as the sun slowly came up, you could see on his back, it says the new symbol of peace. And he just stands there. And after that, everyone's baffled. Everyone's confuzzled. They're like, what's going on? And then all the shockwaves that were hitting and going out, I'll just say that disrupts the cameras. All for one gets captured. Not Todoroki. The League of Villains, they pretty much was able to get away in the beginning of the fight. And so now with that being in his head, Deku was injured during the fight. I was going to try to make it some, let's see here. I was going to make it like some new fancy moves or something. No, not fancy. But I was going to make it where Deku seems like he was dead. Then he comes out and he plays for like the entrance exam. But I mean, I could cheat and try to make another video of just talking about the entrance exam for them to get their actual license. But I mean, I'm pretty much done. Like I'm looking at my script right now and I'm pretty much at the end point. So this will be the final part for this until season 4 comes out. So let's go ahead and get to it. So after that, Deku heals up. He's pretty much given a hero. I'm going to say they give him this demands. They go ahead and give him his hero license right off the bat. Because he took out one of the most notorious villains. But he still wants to partake in the hero course or the hero license or whatever, just to be there for his team. And the thing with this is everyone passes. And the reason I say everyone is because Bakugo and Todoroki, instead of wanting to leave off rip, they want to kind of follow Deku. But he tells Todoroki, go ahead, your quirk's better, at a distance. I mean, not in large groups of your allies. He tells Bakugo and all the people that was with them in canon, y'all can stay with me if y'all want, but if y'all don't, I understand. Bakugo and them was like, Kirishima and the other dude, Denki, they were kind of making fun of Bakugo, like, aw, look at her blush. And she was like, shut up before I blow all of y'all to smithereens. So, look, it's not really dramatic or anything special of how this happens, right? So the start where they're throwing the balls and trying to just get in, that's dummy easy because all Deku does is use stage 5. Stage 5 is like every other stage prior, but his radius is increased dramatically, right? But he also learned how to control it, right? So he's able to focus it in on only individuals that aren't his intended target, which took a good little time of training. But after he had that fight with One For All, he was able to push past his limits. So he does that or whatever, right? And everyone passes. Todoroki passes sometime later. Then we can get to the rescue arc. And the only reason this is different is because Todoroki did talk to Deku a lot more and she respects him in a different way. Basically wants his D, but respects him in a different way. And so instead of him and them fighting off rip, they talk about it and like they try to work it out. Not him, but her, the tornado guy, girl. They fight about it, but instead of fighting about it right away, they talks and be like, hey, let's try to resolve this. And they resolved it. But the villain is attacking. Everybody rescues people. Bakugo is a lot more sensitive to situations, so she's able to calm down her, what's the word for it? Aggressiveness. But even without that, she's like aggressive, and the most of the participants are guys. I mean, not the participants, but the people evaluating it. So they're just like, oh, I mean, I do like a girl that yells. I mean, some type of weird stuff to that. So everybody would pass in this timeline, and that will play a part when season 4 comes around, because it'll make things a little more different, because some people won't know some people, but not a big difference. And now where we would wrap this off at is the big three. They would fight the big three. Deku would pretty much just tell everyone, like, you can't beat him. They're like, what are you talking about? When I did my internships, me and him threw some hands. You can't beat him. I'm like, can you beat him? Yes, obviously. So, but y'all can fight though. Difference with this is Todoroki's in there and Bakugo's in there. So most of it happens pretty similar. Bakugo and Todoroki, they have some good synergy when they're fighting together now. So it's a lot more of a tag team type S, but Miriam's still able to kind of bully them and beat them. And I'm gonna say he's a guy too, because it'll make more of an impact for like when he made his dramatic story. And it's just like, it was hard being a guy with the quirk and being one of the few selects. So him and Deku kind of, hit it off right off bat, because they both understand the struggle. And his quirk wasn't that strong to begin with. So after that, Deku's like, ready for round 2? Yeah, you cheated the last time. Who said I'm not going to cheat again? So the fight begins, and that would be right where I would end it. Like right there, like as they're jumping up in the air, and the fight would stop. But since this is pretty much my last part of this, I'll just tell you how the fight ended. Deku did win, but how did he win? They threw hands at first. He's trying to do all his sneak attacks and stuff, but Deku's like, cancel. And then he elbows the finger, grabs Miriam. He kicks him down. Just they're throwing some good hands. It's kind of like a slugfest. And like he's only counseling out like by the time he gets there. It saves on energy, but he doesn't really need to save on energy. And he's like, all right, enough playing. Charges up a strike, uses all for one, kind of rips his clothes a little bit, but not like by much. Because all it did was really expand. His clothes are kind of like Dragon Ball Z Saiyan suits, where they can expand to any size. So he's just like, gotcha. Miriam's like, no. He's gets knocked in his cranium. He's out. Kato gone. And that's pretty much where season 3 ends, and that's where this video ends. Put down in the comments chocolate milk for the V-Bucks Battle Pass thing. I'm probably gonna do like two or one more video. And then I'll probably just look at the comments and see who's the winner. I hope y'all like that series. I'm pretty sure for the most part I didn't miss too many things out. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Put down in the comments what you liked and didn't like. Catch y'all later.